Welcome class. Welcome to this next lecture on relations. In the previous lecture, we have already seen the various properties of relations. To just have a recap, the properties of relations can be categorized into three categories. We have the reflexivity properties, under which I can have the reflexive relation. Reflexive relation is where for every A belonging to the set A is related to A. Then I can have the irreflexive relation where for every A belonging to the set A should not be related to A, and then I can have the non-reflexive relation. A non-reflexive relation is one which is neither reflexive nor irreflexive. Then the second category of properties was the symmetricity property, under which once again I can have three type of relations. The first is symmetric relations, where if A is related to the element B, it implies that B should also be related to A. Then we have the asymmetric relation, which means if A is related to B, it implies that B should not be related to A. And then we have the anti-symmetric relation, which implies that A related to B and B related to A, both these properties can simultaneously coexist if and only if A is equal to B. Then the third, we have the transitivity property. The transitivity property essentially means if A is related to B and B is related to C, it means that A should be related to C. Right? So these are the properties of relations. Today we are going to see some solved examples. I'll take some numerical examples and show how you can verify the presence of these properties in the relations that are given to you. Right? So now, while solving the problems, you may have two type of relations that are given to you. The first, where the set on which the relation is defined is a small set. Say for example, let us say the set A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let us say this is the set, and the relation is defined as A is related to B if and only if A divides B, right? So now for checking the properties of such relations, it will be easier if you list all the relation pairs, which is quite easy as it is a small set, so the number of relation pairs will be limited. So let's list all the relation pairs. A divides B. Now 1 divides 1, 1 divides 2, 1 divides 3, 1 divides 4, 1 divides 5, 1 divides 6. Then 2 divides 2, 2 divides 4, 2 divides 6. 3 divides 3 and 3 divides 6. Then 4 divides 4, 5 divides 5 and 6 divides 6. Now these are the relation pairs. Now I have to check the various properties of the relation. Now for checking the properties of the relation, we will go one by one. Let's first check the reflexivity property. Now for the reflexivity property, what does the reflexivity property says? For every element of A should be related to A. That means A comma A pair should be there. Now what are the elements? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can see 1, 1 is there. We can see 2, 2 is there, 3, 3 is there, 4, 4 is there, 5, 5 is there, 6, 6 is there. So I can say that this is a reflexive relation. Right? Now, the next, let's check the symmetricity property. Now, before we go into that, as the relation is a reflexive relation, it cannot be a irreflexive relation and it cannot be a non-reflexive relation, because a relation can fall only in one of the three categories at a given time. Now for checking of symmetricity, we know that the symmetricity says if A is related to B, it should imply that B is also related to A, right? So let's see, if 1 comma 2 is there, can you see any 2 comma 1 over here? No, I cannot see that. So that means if 1 is related to 2, 2 is not related to 1. Now even a single pair AB, if the corresponding BA pair is not there, I can directly say that this is not a symmetric relation. So does it mean is that it is a asymmetric relation? Let us see. For asymmetricity, what should happen? A related to B should imply that B is not related to A. Please understand, you cannot prove the existence of a property by taking one example, but you can disprove the property by taking a single counter example. So it is always a good idea to look for counter examples. Now, if you see over here, if I check, if I see, let's see, 1 comma 2, 2 comma 1 is not there, so this supports asymmetricity. But if you see over here, 2 comma 2, 2 is related to 2, A, B. So I can say if I take B, A, 2 is related to 2. So I have a pair where A comma B implies B comma A, right? So the presence of one A comma B and B comma A pair indicates that this is not a asymmetric relation. Now let us check for antisymmetricity. Antisymmetricity says if A is related to B and B is related to A, it should imply that A is equal to B, right? So I can say the only pairs where A is related to B and B is related to A, the only pair of pairs where A is related to B and B is related to A are the ones where A is equal to B, which is the case where 1 is equal to 1, 2 is equal to 2, 3 is equal to 3, 4 is equal to 4, 5 is equal to 5, and 6 is equal to 6. So apart from these 6 pairs, you will not find any pair where for A comma B you can also have a B comma A pair. So this is a anti-symmetric relation. So we have seen that this is a reflexive relation and this is a anti-symmetric relation, right? Now let us check for transitivity. Now for checking for transitivity, it essentially means if A is related to B and B is related to A, it should imply that A is also related to C. Now let us check it over here. I can see, let's make a small table over here, A, B, C, so that it will be an easy task, right? So I can see if 1 is related to 1 and 1 is related to 1, that gives me a pair of 1 comma 1, that is already there. Similarly, if 1 is related to 2 and 2 is related to 4, I already have a pair of 1 comma 4. Similarly, if I have 1 comma 3 and 3 comma 6, it gives me a pair of 1 comma 6, which is already present over there. So in this manner, you can verify that for every A related to B and B related to A, we have A related to C. So this is a transitive relation. So once a relation is reflexive, antisymmetric and transitive, we can say that this is a partially ordered relation, right? Now as a homework, using the same set, check this relation A related to B if and only if A is greater than equal to B. Check for this relation and show whether it is a equivalence relation or not. Let's take another example. Let's take one more example where the set is a small set only. Let's say the set A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let us define the relation as A is related to B if and only if A minus B is even. Now, very common confusion that I have seen in students' mind is, please understand, 2 is an even number, so minus 2 is also an even number. Nowhere does it say that a negative number cannot be an even number, right? So, now let us once again write down the relation pairs. So I can write 1 comma 1. Why? Because difference of 1 and 1 is 0, which is an even number. 0 is considered to be a even number. So 1 3, 1 5, 2 2, 2 4, 3 1, 3 3, 3 5, 4 2, 4 4, 5 1, 5 3, 5 5. These are the various relation pairs. Okay. Now let us check for the various properties. Right. We'll once again first check for reflexivity. Now we can see 1 is related to 1, 2 is related to 2, 3 is related to 3, 4 is related to 4, and 5 is related to 5. Obviously, any number when subtracted from itself will give me a 0, which is considered to be an even number. So this is a reflexive relation. So obviously, if a relation is reflexive, it cannot be irreflexive or it cannot be non-reflexive. Let's check for symmetricity. Right? You can see over here, if 1 comma 3 is there, 3 comma 1 is also there. If 1 comma 5 is there, 5 comma 1 is also there. If 3 comma 5 is there, 5 comma 3 is there. Obviously, if a minus b is even, then b minus a, obviously it will be negative of the same value, but it will be the same value. So a minus b and b minus a will have the same magnitude, but only the sign will be reversed. So it will be a symmetric relation. As it is a symmetric relation, it cannot be a asymmetric relation. And as I have the 1 3 and 3 1 pair where 1 is not equal to 3, so it cannot be an anti-symmetric relation. Now let's check for transitivity. If I have 1 comma 3 and 3 comma 5, they give rise to 1 comma 5 pair, which I can see over here. If I have 3 comma 5 and 5 comma 3, they give rise to a 3 comma 3 pair, which is already there. If I have a 4 comma 2 and 2 comma 4 pairs, they give rise to 4 comma 4 pair, which is already there. So in this manner, you can verify that all the a comma b and b comma c pairs give rise to a comma c pair. So this is a transitive relation. So these three properties tell me that this is a equivalent relation. Right? So these were two examples where we had small sets on which the relations were defined. So we could very easily list the relation pairs and visually inspect the various properties. Now we will see what happens if the sets on which the properties on which the relation has been defined is an infinite set, and therefore it is not possible for us to make a list of all the relation pairs, and so we cannot visually inspect the relation to check for the properties. Let's see that. Let us say we have a relation that is defined on set of natural numbers. And let us say the relation is defined as x is related to y if and only if x plus 3y is equal to 12. Let's take a simple relation. It simply says a relation has been defined on the set of natural numbers, and two natural numbers x and y are related to each other if and only if x plus 3y is equal to 12. So now once again let's check for reflexivity. Now if I take any natural number, right? Now the relation says x plus 3y is equal to 12. Apart from 3 comma 3, apart from 3 comma 3, where it simply means 3 plus 3 into 3, that is equal to 12. Apart from this pair, there is no other pair of a comma a that satisfies this condition. Check 1 comma 1, 1 plus 3 into 1 is equal to 4, 2 plus 3 into 2 is equal to 8, 4 plus 3 into 4 is equal to 16, and so on. All of them do not satisfy the relation condition. So this is not a reflexive relation. But this is not a irreflexive relation also. Why? Because 3 comma 3 pair is there. So this is an example of a non-reflexive relation. Checking for symmetricity. right? If I take any relation pair, if I take any pair, let us say if I take 0, sorry, 0 cannot be taken. If I take, let us say 6, 2, if I take this pair, right, it says 6 plus 3 multiplied by 2, that is 6 plus 6, that is equal to 12. Now let us check whether the reverse is also true or not. So if I take 2, 6 pair, it becomes 2 plus 3 multiplied by 6, that is 2 plus 18, which becomes 20. So this is not a, it is not a symmetric relation, right? But this will not be an asymmetric relation also. Why? Because we know that 3, 3 pair is there. 3, 3 pair is there. If you try to check for transitivity, if you check for transitivity, I leave checking for transitivity for you. You will see that this is a transitive relation. This is a transitive relation. What does transitivity means? If I have three elements x, y, z all belonging to the set of natural number such that x plus 3y is equal to 12 and y plus 3z is equal to 12, that means x plus 3z is also equal to 12. I leave it to you to verify. Let's take another example. Let's take an example. Okay. Once again, relations are being defined on the set of natural numbers. And the relation says A is related to B if and only if A multiplied by B is greater than 0. Now this is the relation that is given to you. Right? Once again, the set on which the relation is defined is an infinite set. Sorry. So it is not possible for us to list all the relation pairs. So let us use the properties of natural numbers to verify the various properties. Let's begin with reflexivity. Right? Now we all know the natural numbers, 0 does not come under the natural numbers. And we also know that for this product to be 0, either A should be equal to 0 or B should be equal to 0 or both of them should be equal to 0. So if I take any element A, if I say A related to A, that means A dot A, which will be equal to A square, and the square of a natural number will always be greater than 0. So it is a reflexive relation. For any natural number you see, the square of that natural number will be greater than 0. So every natural number is related to itself. So it is a reflexive relation. If I check for symmetricity, if I have two numbers A and B, and if I say A dot B is greater than 0, as we know that the multiplication of natural numbers is commutative and A dot B is equal to B dot A, so obviously B dot A will also be greater than 0. So this is a symmetric relation. If we check for transitivity, if A dot B is greater than 0 and B dot C is greater than 0. Now let us multiply both of them. Let us multiply both of them. So I'll have A dot B dot B dot C. Okay, this is a number greater than 0. This is a number greater than 0. So obviously this will be greater than 0. Right? So I'll have A dot B square dot C is greater than 0. Now B square I already know is greater than 0. A is greater than 0, B square is greater than 0, C is greater than 0, and the product of all three numbers will obviously be greater than 0. So if A is related to B and B is related to C, that means A dot C, if this is greater than 0, this is greater than 0, so A dot C will also be greater than 0. So this is a transitive relation. Now as it is a reflexive relation, a symmetric relation and a transitive relation, so this will be a equivalent relation, right? Okay. Now let us see a slightly different type of a question. Once again, we are having the natural numbers, but this time the set that we are using, let us say the set A, it is a set of pairs such that A and B both belong to natural numbers. So the set that we are using, that set which we'll be using for creating the relation is a set of pairs, right? So now the relation is defined as A comma B is related to C comma D if and only if AD is equal to BC. See, this pair is an element of the set. This pair is yet another element of the set. The set is no longer a set of simple numbers. It is now a set of pairs. So the relation will be a set of pairs of pair. So now you'll see this question is not much different from the ones that we have solved earlier. Let's see. Let's first check for reflexivity. Reflexivity simply means that every element must be related to itself. Now let us see whether A comma B is related to A comma B. Now the definition of the relation says A comma B is related to C comma D if and only if AD is equal to BC. That means this element multiplied by this element should be equal to this element multiplied by this element. So this indicates that A dot B should be equal to B dot. We know that for natural numbers multiplication is commutative. So this property is satisfied. So we can say that this is a reflexive relation. Right? Let's check for symmetricity. Symmetricity says if A comma B is related to B comma A, it should imply that B comma A is also related to A comma B. Let us see. If A comma B is related to B comma A means, sorry, this is not symmetricity, my bad. If A comma B is related to C comma D, it should imply that C comma D is also related to A comma B. So this means AD is equal to BC, and this means CB is equal to DA. We know that matrix, once again, the natural number multiplication is commutative. The natural number multiplication is commutative. So BC and CB are same. Similarly, AD and DA are same. So AD is equal to BC and CB is equal to DA are same. So this is also a symmetric relation. Right? For transitivity, I'll need to turn on the page. Right? I'll again write the relation over here. A comma B is related to C comma D if and only if AD is equal to BC. If A, B, C, D all are natural numbers. Now we have to check for transitivity. Transitivity basically means if A related to B and B related to C, that means A should be related to C. That means I need now three pairs. Let's say A comma B, C comma D and E comma F. We have taken three pairs such that A, B, C, D, E, F, they are all natural numbers. So what does transitivity says? If A comma B is related to C comma D and C comma D is related to E comma F, then it should imply that A comma B is related to E comma F. What does it mean? AD is equal to BC. What does it mean? CF is equal to DE, outer elements multiplied by inner elements. What does it mean? AF is equal to BE. Now I have to use this expression and this expression to arrive at this expression. Now let us see. AD is equal to BC, right? So I can say that let's write D is equal to BC upon A. I can write it like this. So substitute it over here. CF is equal to B C upon A into E. I can cancel out C from here and here. So I get F is equal to B into E upon A. Taking A over here, I get AF is equal to BE, and this was the same expression as I am having. So this is a transitive relation. So as it is transitive, reflexive and symmetric, so this is a equivalent relation. So these are some numerical examples. You can find more numerical examples on either the net, or you can use the material that I have uploaded, the PDF material that I have uploaded. You'll find a number of solved examples as well as unsolved problems over there. So you can solve those problems, and if there are any difficulties, if there are any questions that you people are not able to solve, right, you can post the query in the discussion forum and we will take it from there. Okay, thank you.